love making honey wheat bread in the fall because honey is one of those warm flavors for fall baking. You could also try this recipe with some maple syrup instead of the honey. Our honey wheat bread recipe makes 2 9.5-inch loaves. We're going to start out this recipe combining our dry ingredients, including our flour, salt, and yeast. We're using bread flour and whole wheat flour in this recipe. 4 cups or 480 grams of bread flour and 2 cups or 226 grams of whole wheat flour. You'll want to reserve 1 cup of the bread flour and add the other 3 cups to a large bowl. For our 3 cups of bread flour, we're adding 2 cups of whole wheat flour. Whole wheat flour weighs 113 grams per cup, so that's a total of 226 grams versus the 120 gram per cup for the bread flour. I'm using 4.5 teaspoons of instant dry yeast. You can also use the active dry yeast, and if you're buying your yeast in packets, that's 2 packets. And we're adding 2.25 teaspoons of table salt. So we're just going to whisk these dry ingredients together. And now we're going to set this aside and we're going to get our liquid ingredients prepared. Now we're going to make a heated mixture of water, butter, and honey. I'm going to use the microwave, so I'm using a glass bowl, and we're adding 2 cups of water. And we're adding 8 tablespoons of butter. So I just cut my butter up into pieces. And 1/4 cup of honey. I'm using raw honey. I love using honey in fall baking. Now we are going to heat this mixture until most of our butter is melted. You can do this on the stovetop in a saucepan over medium heat. Just keep stirring it, and you want to get this between 120 and 130 degrees. I'm going to microwave mine in 1-minute bursts on high and stir in between each burst. I microwaved this for 2 minutes. My butter is not completely melted, so let's give this a good stir. We are going to measure the temperature. We want it to be around 120 degrees, certainly no higher than 130. Mine's just a little bit over 120. So if yours got a little too warm, just let it sit. Now I'm making a well into my dry ingredients. Just give it a couple of stirs, and we add 1 beaten egg to our mixture. Let's go ahead and form our dough. Now we're going to beat this for 2 minutes on low speed and adding flour as needed until we get a soft dough. I've added in just about 3/4 of a cup of our flour. And this is way too sticky. So I'm adding the rest of the flour. So that's the full 4 cups of bread flour. Now you can use your stand mixer for this and knead this 6 to 8 minutes, or knead this by hand. There's a lot of water in this dough. It's a very sticky and very elastic dough. And I'm going to show you how I do the slap and fold method with this dough. So I put a couple tablespoons of flour over here, bread flour. Now my house is extremely humid today. It's been humid for the last several days, and we did need the rain. Just going to pat some flour on there. It needed a little more flour needed in there. You can hand knead this a traditional way, or you can do slap and fold. I'm using the slap and fold method today, and I've already done the slap and fold about 50 times. Now this dough has really started developing very well, because earlier it was a shaggy mess. Slap, this is the most important part. Pull on this, stretch on this, and then fold it over. Pick it up, turn it 90 degrees, slap it down, pull on this and flip it over. This is called slap and fold. Just pick it up, slap, fold. And when you slap it, it's to get the dough to adhere to your surface. And this is the part that's important. You're stretching it and folding it over. I like using this method for high hydration doughs. It's a way to develop the gluten. I find it takes a little bit longer than hand kneading, but I find that I don't have to knead in as much flour. You see now my dough is getting very smooth. So you can use regular hand kneading or this slap and fold process. This dough is getting very strong. If so am I. And this dough is ready to sit for an hour. Cover this and let it rise for about an hour. Alrighty, this is our dough after 1 hour. So it has definitely doubled in size, overflowing the bowl. So let's just punch this down and get rid of some of that excess gas. Very gently deflate the dough. I'm so excited. I love honey wheat bread. So we're going to cut this dough in half. Just put a little flour on there. We're going to cut this dough in half and shape it into 2 loaves. Pull this to the center like you're making a round loaf. And I go around it twice. Flip it over, turn that in some flour, flip it over, and just pull one side up, the other side up. Just sort of pinch them. A little more flour, and that's all I do with these loaves. Place that in our greased 9.5-inch pan. We're going to cover these and let them rise again until they're doubled in size. It's been about an hour. They're nice and puffy. They're beautiful. And you don't want them to overrise, so they're going to crest the pan, just a little bit, maybe 1/2 inch. We're going to wipe on an egg wash using 1 egg white and a tablespoon of water. These loaves are going into a 350-degree oven for 25 minutes. I left these loaves in for 28 minutes. Oh, so beautiful. Look at the sponginess of these loaves. Oh, you are going to love this bread. Let's have a look on the inside. So tender. Just, absolutely perfect texture.